You folks joining in.
And we do. And I also see a red box. Inside that red box is the word live. And I'm
Uh-huh.
consulting my host manual. Turns out we are, in fact, live, Grace. There's no turning back now. You are a brave soul.
I am.
There'll be a little something extra in your Christmas stocking this year for all the torture that we put you through. Nobody knows what we're talking about, but I'm going to let everyone know. Thank you, Talkshop.live, to view hundreds of great shows like the one we're about to do with the very best artists like the one you're about to see and hear from, who, by the way, have autographed their albums for fans just like you. And as if she needs one, I'm going to put you to work right away. Grace, if you would, for the three out of the several hundred or thousand people who don't know, please introduce yourself to the fine folks out there.
Fine folks. My name is Grace Potter, and I am a recording artist, a filmmaker, a mother, a doctor 2 times over. I'm also a house painter. I have a farm in Vermont that has too much land for me to handle, so I'm rewilding it. And I have an album that is probably even more wild than the land, called Trespasser. That's coming out soon, and tonight is the night. We are gonna be pulling back the curtains in the creepiest motel you've ever gone into.
Absolutely. Buckle up, folks. Today we're celebrating this new album that you just heard Grace refer to, entitled Trespasser.
Yeah.
As the spiritual sequel, if you will, of the great 2023's Mother Road, this 4-time Grammy nominee. Last count, I believe it's the 7th studio album, and it continues the kaleidoscopic storyline. I can't make that word up. Someone fed that to me. It's a great word, shaped by her many road trips from her Topanga Canyon home to her part-time residence in native Vermont, which she touched on. And it's a journey, as we understand it, she's made at least 8 times in the last 5 years. We're going to ask her about that, usually on her own, even more intriguing. But today, as she said, she's delivered this brilliant album. So buckle up. Let's kick the show off. Brad, please roll the video.
Thank you, Steve. You made it very easy for me.
Oh man, that's a relief. You know, I saw Grace Potter in that intro. I hate it when the artist always asks, why am I not in that intro?
Way to go, guys. Way to keep me in there. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. You're rock and roll royalty. I'm Steve Harkins, your host for the Rock and Roll Channel on Talk Shop Live. And please welcome back to Talk Shop Live's Rock and Roll Channel, an American treasure, truly, the one, the only, Grace Potter. When she's not saving animals, pets, and dealing with fishermen.
We haven't gotten into that yet. Nobody knows what you're talking about.
I know. I thought I would just go with that for sure. Thank you so much for being here tonight, Grace, under a little duress.
Yeah, my dog was choking on a fishbone right before I got on to Talk Shop Live here. And then I couldn't find my contact lenses. So if anybody's texting like large, passages to me, I'm going to have to go full Meryl Streep on your asses. Okay. And I'm not trying to be cool. These are my prescription glasses. Okay. This is how blind I am. For those of you who don't believe me when I say that I'm legally blind, just take a gander at that. Okay.
Well,
you're dealing with some real stuff here.
That is pretty intense.
Yeah, I cannot see. So I have one contact lens in, the other one fell out, and then the dog choked on a bone. So that's priorities, people.
I think it's pretty important that we share with people too. The dog is okay.
He is fine. Max is fine.
Yeah, Max is fine.
The boys went fishing. They caught a fish. They cooked it. It smells like fish in my house now, and I don't want to talk about it.
And Grace, look at the bright side. Since you can't see well, that's a win because I've been told I'm a good reason why high definition is a bad idea. So
It's rude. You look like fucking Gandalf. What are you talking about?
oh man, look at that. I'll take that. I'll wear that like a badge of honor.
Well, like,
Thank you.
yeah, you're kind of between Viggo Mortensen and Gandalf right now.
Oh, look at that.
You're moving
Oh,
into your Aragorn phase.
I love you. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah. I
You
wonder
better
what
not
would happen.
take any more guff from those swine. You can't be
Okay.
listening to people that talk
Thank
like
you. I wonder what would happen if you lost the other contact lens, but I'm going to just go with the one. And it's not about me. It's about the fans and Grace. And if you'd like to ask her a question or you have a comment, just hit the chat function. We'll get to as many as possible. You know, I said this, we were together probably 2.5 years ago. The album came out in 2023, the last
that. I'll
time.
never forget Between Two Ferns. Do you remember? We had the
I
ferns.
do.
Yes.
I do.
Yeah.
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 Good memory. Wow. I'm blown
Oh,
away.
I
So
can't forget.
thank you so much for that. So on so many fronts, we're off to an amazing start. And I haven't even sold an album yet for you, and I'm going to. I'm going to really
on,
double
people.
down on this. That's right. But let me state what you do is extraordinarily important. You know, I think I said this the last time, but you know, we're living in somewhat contentious times to say the least. And you know, when you set, you're an exceptional performer, but when you deliver new music as well, the one common thread it seems like we have these days is music, and you bring people together. It doesn't matter what religious conviction they have or political affiliation, all that goes out the window.
Yeah.
You bring people together, and it's not just entertainment. It's really important. It's music and art.
Yeah, it is actually the reason I started a nonprofit, which is all about that. I think that when things fall apart in culture, in our political culture, that is when the artists come to light. It's when we turn to the most absurd and incongruous places for logic, because honestly, we're trying to find a thread. We're trying to put ourselves back into a place where we understand where we are and where the hinge is between unhinged and hinged. And us artists are way swinging out at the back end of that door, all the way out there. And that's what our job is, you know?
That's absolutely right. And somebody just tip, I'm upgrading my mic effect here to talk about technical. Does that sound better? Hopefully it does. Anyway.
Yeah, for those of you on Instagram who are watching, I don't know if they're hearing you through my computer speaker or if that's unhelpful, but I don't know how any of this works. In fact, they asked me to do some technical things right before we got on board here. I didn't do that. So we're going to repeat to those of you who are trying to figure out what's going on that
Yeah,
you
well,
need to.
Just to make you feel better, this was on me, so it had nothing to do with
good.
you.
It's your problem, not mine.
It was a big fail on my part, so I won't quit my day job.
All right.
Congratulations on Trespasser. Great work here, man. I love this record, and it's diverse. I mean, the songs are absolutely stellar, first and foremost. So you got to feel really good about this album.
I do. It's been a labor of love. I kind of been saving these. Like, all of these songs are weird little Easter eggs that I've been leaving along the trail, you know, as I've been crossing the country and writing songs for the last 5 years. These are the ones I wasn't ready to put out for Mother Road for one reason or another. And, you know, we'll probably get into that a little bit in some of these songs that we're exploring, because we're going to go deep, folks. We're going to hear things that no one's heard yet.
And we're going to cover out all of them, not to interrupt you, but we're going to touch on
we're going to talk about all of it. And but I think this is a weirder egg basket, but yet I think because it is such a strange selection, it is the least commodified and most honest version of me that you will have confronted as of yet.
A lot of soul in it, for sure.
Yeah.
Tell us about the approach this time, as far as the recording was a little bit of a different, that whole process was a little bit of a different direction, wasn't it? I mean, I think I read somewhere that usually you knock it out pretty quickly, but this one was a process.
Yeah. So we had a few years of knocking these ideas back and forth. And ultimately what happened was we, in making this music, I realized that my feelings about some of these songs had changed. And a lot of the approach that happened when I put out the record with T-Bone Burnett kind of came back again, where I'm not revisiting this music because no one else knows about it. And yet most of my feelings were the same. And the journal entries just needed like a little color correction or a little shaping or a little bit of like, okay, you're not as mad as you were then, or maybe you're way more mad than you were then.
Yeah.
And so I think this really allowed all the vibrant colors and all of the most honest versions of myself to come to light, because if I had put some of these songs out when I had first written them, I'm not saying like this whole record is a bunch of old retraces. There's maybe 1/3 really a Mother Road conceptualized scaffolding. And then I wrote a movie and worked on that movie and have still been and continue to work on that movie. And so over the course of the movie, I essentially kept scoring the movie. And so that score has continued. And then there's a couple of songs in there that I thought would be one thing. And right at the very end, my impulsive creative spirit came through and said, no, I'm changing the entire thing. Let's just
Yeah.
completely, we're not
Scrap it.
scrapping don't scrap the drums, because when Eric Valentine records drums, you do not scrap them.
Those are keepers.
They're,
Yeah.
they're keepers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so there was a lot. This was the closest thing to brain surgery that I've been through. And it's, again, my husband and I working together, which is always, I think, a climate of indulgence that a child will not allow you. So each of us had to sort of tag team this record and revisit it at different points over the course of the last couple of years until we were really pinning down final lyrics, final verses, final mixes. Okay, are we putting in the string section? Are we going to do the gong and the Yoko Ono choir or not? There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that.
Right. I love that. And you talked about this before, but I mean, it seems like it's a continuing theme, but and it makes sense because, as you said, it's some of these tracks, the songs are from the Mother Road period, but you spent a lot of time on the road, mostly by yourself. And I'm
Right.
just curious, on the last few trips that you made cross country, literally,
Mhm.
was it a little more challenging where it's like some of the novelty wore off and you're going, hey, can I make the distance here? Or did it still capture kind of the spirit
Yeah.
and the vibe that you were looking for?
No, I got more trucker in me now than I did the first time. I think
So
I
it
was,
was the reverse.
yeah, I was more trepidatious in those first few crossings, especially being solo. And the more I would encounter people who would give me a hard time about being a woman on the road alone.
Yeah.
And I think I got a lot more confidence because Max was with me, and he's a German Shepherd Rottweiler,
Yeah.
cross mutt there. And dudes don't want to mess with you when you have what looks like a German Shepherd / Rottweiler in the back of your car.
I'm
So
thinking you're right.
I didn't need the weapons anymore, but I had the weapons because I'd been given weapons, by
Yeah.
concerned voyeurs, But no,
love
I think there are moments of quiet. I always take those moments though, like especially when you get to the stretch after Indiana. From Indiana to Vermont is a dire streak. There's some beautiful things to see, but it tends to be nighttime and I'm in like the final rush.
Yeah.
And that's when I have to stop rushing. That's when I need to absolutely find the stillness and the center of the places that I've been, and maybe do a little bit of reflection if it's nighttime. And then if it's daytime, I mean, you never see the same thing twice. There's no uninteresting
Right.
places. None. Especially between Indiana and Vermont. There's some wildly cool places. So,
You you shake up the routes a little bit?
always, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I never take the same way twice, except that my rule is if I'm doing Route 66 proper, I can stop in St. Louis. I'm not required to make it all the way up to Chicago. But
Yeah.
this time, this was our 9th crossing. And when I say our, I mean this was my family's 3rd crossing and my
Okay.
9th. And this one was really cool because I had a gig in Chicago. So we actually got to do the full route, and it was
I
really
love it.
spectacular.
My old hometown. Love
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Ah,
Love that town except the winter. But yeah, I left it behind. Moved to
yeah.
Charlotte, but I brought my snow shovel to remind me what
Yeah, but do you know about like the ghosts that live in the wind tunnels in the
yeah.
Windy City? So,
Yeah.
because in Vermont and most of the Northeast, we didn't think about things like civic, we didn't have like civil engineers and municipalities and okay, this hood is going to pay for this and this neighborhood's going to pay for this and this is where the train is going to get paid for, the maintenance goes here. somehow by the time we got to the Midwest, someone had figured out that it's fucking cold and we need to have wind tunnels.
Yeah.
But many people I have met in the Midwest have told me stories of the ghosts in the wind tunnels. I would like to
Absolutely.
refer to it as like the least expensive reverb chamber you can get, because they sound
100%.
and they keep you warm in the winter.
Absolutely right. It's so true. Yeah, we invented this thing called wind chill factor. That's when it's like 20 below, but it
Yeah.
feels like it's 50 below because you're not in the wind tunnel. Because just to make you feel that much more miserable, that's
Yeah.
that's what we do.
Yep,
But so
absolutely.
so 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 now you've got this project under your belt. I have to ask you, are you a tortured soul when it comes to sequencing it? You got 9 tracks on this, and it's got a really
No.
interesting flow to it.
Yeah, this one was easy because I had it all
You know?
laid out. I mean, a lot of it is chronological. There's 2 that I had to insert in there, which were Run Baby Run and Love Me Not,
Yep.
because they were former accounts of people I had encountered who then became songs late in the game.
Yeah.
So I still stayed chronological, but the music that was being recorded was newer music than some of the other tracks that I had sort of embedded into my concept of where the sonic course of the record was going to go. But once the lyrics settled in and I realized which songs belonged with which lyrics, because a lot of times I'll write the lyrics and then the song comes later and I just sort of find out where it fits.
Makes sense.
There's really new beds of music that have really old lyrics. But essentially it's all chronological revelations. Yeah.
It's amazing because it feels it's got an interesting flow to it, so it worked out on all fronts, I guess.
I hope so. It's funny
So,
when I do think that the track order matters. And so I had it in my mind that it was just one thing I wouldn't have to think about if I just went chronological.
yeah.
That doesn't mean that it musically is the right choice for someone who, for example, like if this was a mixtape, there are some things on there where you hear it and you're like, what? I thought we were listening to one record. What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And I
Right.
think there are other ways that musically I might have transitioned or eased you into some of those major and defiant sort of course corrections. But I think that's part of what trespassing is, right? We
That's
trespass
right.
on our ears. I'm trespassing on your concept of what type of record you thought you were listening to. I don't know if that helps to sell the record, but I will say that there is definitely something for everyone. And it
There
gets a bit
truly is.
haunted. Yeah, about 3/4 of the way in, things take a very David Lynchian turn.
Yeah, all for the best, though. Yeah, in a very creepy but
Yeah,
musical, fun way for sure.
yeah.
Dan is saying, "Hello, Grace. Can't wait to hear the new tunes. Loved you when you came out with the Stones in Minneapolis in 2015. You killed it with Mick."
Thank you. God, that was I think that there was an interesting moment there,
Yeah,
and I appreciate the comment, and I think that was one of those, moments in your career where, and I've said this before, but I think I need to reiterate it in the context of this record, that I died that day. Like, I could have died. I just could have disappeared from the world and still been able to say that I sang "Gimme Shelter" with the Rolling Stones.
what a killer
And
song, and
yeah,
you gotta have it deliver it. I mean, you can't
yeah.
hide behind that
You
song.
cannot hide in that song. That song is specifically one of the most ripped open and raw wounds, and then the song just rubs salt and then squeezes lemon juice into it.
I love that.
Um,
Good
and I
analogy.
think it's a really important thing to understand that was a pivotal moment in my life when I kind of had achieved everything I needed to with music as
Yeah.
far as my childhood dreams of what success looked like. And then I had more to say, and that's what you've been getting ever since.
And you can also add saving dogs through CPR to your list now as
I
well.
didn't CPR him, I just stuck my finger in his mouth and pulled
Uh,
out the damn fishbone.
Oh, you
It
could
was
have lied and
actually
gone with my story, but yeah, you saved the dog regardless.
that's true. I did save the dog. Listen, he saved me many times. Who knows what kind of skullduggery people could have gotten into at those truck stops had
This
I
is
not
true.
had the Rottweiler. Yeah.
Absolutely. We need him around.
Yeah,
Uh,
we love Max.
yeah, Kelsey's saying, Grace, great, thanks so much for being here. We missed you. Dan is loving the fact that you're taking the time out from the family, the dog, the fish, the whole 9 yards, the tour. Kathy B is saying hello, and let's
I see somebody was at the Gorge the other night. Yeah, we were there
yeah,
on Friday and Saturday.
yeah.
Yeah,
Look at that. You can read with one eye.
well, so whenever y'all see me going like this
Yeah.
and giving you like, what'd you call it? Hot Popeye? You get
Yeah,
the hot
I call it a hot Popeye look. Yeah.
hot Popeye. This is the one that has the contact lens in. I was actually, my optometrist was trying to get me contact lenses today, but I just couldn't make it to the place. But yes, okay. Oh, thank you. Mother Road kicks butt. This is great. This is so awesome. And I think the other thing I'm seeing about some people are talking about the live streams that I did during COVID,
Yeah.
and which was the twilight hour. And we tended to do them on a Monday night, which is why I have not done a live Instagram probably since last Talk Shop Live. But before that, I was doing them a lot during COVID to perform. And I think that was the beginning of this whole journey from Mother Road onward. So everything you've heard, including the T-Bone Burnett record, wouldn't have really happened if I hadn't gotten into the truly like, let's just open up the closet doors of the haberdashery and just show people what life is, and to be a creative entity and to share these internal sort of facets of my life and the inner workings of my life. It was the least scary thing to do, in the middle of a very scary time. But I
Yeah.
think it has definitely advised and moved me into this position of feeling really comfortable, exploring these uncomfortable places, you know?
No filters, no guardrails, but it produced a whole nother, a whole nother angle that we get to experience. And this record, I think, is a
Yeah.
culmination of that. It's absolutely brilliant and produced by someone by the name of Eric Valentine. Does that name sound familiar? I think it does.
That
Terrific.
old chestnut.
Yes, that old chestnut.
Somebody
I didn't
once
call him an
told
old
me
chestnut.
I
Yeah, I'll just say that
married
chestnut.
myself a baddie. He's the best. I love him so much. And he was so proud when Sagan caught the fish today. And then
Yeah, I bet.
stunk up our kitchen so good. And I got so pissed that I went outside and weeded in the garden just to get the stress out for a little while. And then I came back in and the fish was cooked and it was like Octonauts perfect. It was
Yeah.
beautiful. It was beautiful. So I can't complain. But I will say, being married to that man is as crazy as being married to me. So we have a beautifully
Yeah.
reciprocal experience together.
That's amazing. Yeah, I can't wait to read the book for sure. It's going to be
Oh, we are writing a book. Yes.
it's going to be a hell of a book. But it terrific. I have to give him a tip of the hat. I mean, terrific production
Yeah.
on this, and you wrote the majority of the songs, or in a few cases, you also co-wrote. I think Eric may have contributed
He
some
had to
co-writing as well.
be credited. Yeah. I mean, there
Yeah.
was just too many times where the song just wouldn't have happened if he hadn't just made me pick a verse and go with it, you know? And there was
Yeah,
other times where I had, like the chorus could have been 3 things,
right.
all of which were true. So for someone who has so many things to say, it's really important to have an editor, and he's like New York Times level good,
Yeah,
who can really help you to pinpoint the thing that is precision made for, and not necessarily the most universal audience, but the audience that is meant for that song. The
yeah,
audience where when it lands in their ears, they will say, "Good God, this woman is the container for my emotional experience as well." He can find the verses I've written or the choruses I've written that really sum it up clearly. I don't have that clarity. And so that's part of why I kept on putting him on these songs, because Ride or Die is a good example.
yeah.
Love Me is another good example. Oh my God, War on the Mountain. There were like 18 more verses, and that song isn't epic as it is. So
Absolutely.
same with Belong. There's a bunch of songs on the record where if it weren't for him, they just wouldn't be on the record at all. So
There we go, Eric. Nicely done.
I know. I wish
and-
he could hear me right now. He doesn't usually hear me
Well-
talking this nice about him. He usually just hears
Well,
me bitching about how
we-
much our house smells like fish.
He'll get over it after he watches the show, and we post it, so it's not like he can miss. He can watch it anytime after the show ends.
Yep.
So
You guys notice me trying to hide the price tag on the bottom of my cup because I don't want people to see it?
I wasn't going to go there, but since you brought it up,
Yeah,
No,
I don't want you to see. I don't want you to see.
okay. So then that's my
Marshalls.
cue.
It's
Good-
Marshalls. It's Marshalls, okay?
Okay, people can go to sleep at night now. Thanks for sharing that. This is my cue to remind everybody tonight we're celebrating the forthcoming release from the magical Grace Potter, the spiritual sequel, if you will, to 2023's Mother Road entitled Trespasser, her evolution from the last release, but also as she shared with us this evening, a lot of the material is from that era. Her evolution from the last release, the clarity. The album is absolutely stellar. Fans will love Trespasser without question because Grace really delivered here with some help from Eric, as you heard. Available exclusively at Talk Shop Live on Double Detour Red Vinyl. And also, that's a swirl, super cool pattern. Also on CD, available on Friday, August 21st. However, Rock and Roll Channel fans on Talk Shop Live can purchase their copies right here, right now. And it's Grace's way of thanking you, fine fans. She's graciously agreed to sign a limited number of copies purchased here on the Rock and Roll Channel on Talk Shop Live. I'm not hyping this. It's pretty close to sold out. And after torturing Grace a couple of times in the last 2 or 3 years, I'm not sure she's going to return our calls to sign more. So you want to...
Oh, come on. Of course I will.
I tease Grace, but to order your copies, hit the shop button on Talk Shop Live on socials, Facebook and Instagram. And if you're on Instagram, please order because we definitely tortured her in setting up Instagram. I can say that with confidence. Comment the word shop if you're on those socials. We'll DM you a link, or on YouTube, just click the link in the description. The rest is quick, easy, and pain-free, unlike the slight arthritic condition Grace may have developed signing for you fine fans, but she's well on the way to recovery. And there's no greater way to show how much you appreciate the great Grace Potter's amazing artistry than by owning a copy of this body of work, Trespasser. And I guarantee you're going to love this record. If you don't, my email address is steve@talkshop.live.
Yes, send tweets to Steve, not me. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Steve@talkshop.live. I stand behind it 100%. I'll make it right. That's how much I believe in this. Let's check out the opening track from Grace's new album, Trespasser. Buckle up, folks. Here's Main Street USA. Brad, if you're still with us, please roll the digital.
I sent a postcard just like a movie. Bye bye everyone who ever knew me. I'm gone. I'm gonna give myself a new name and put 1,000 miles between me and the mainframe. And I hope there's still a heartbeat humming like a freight train. I've been trying to find Main Street USA with the boys and the girls and the jukebox playing down at the big top, popping up, calling my name. I'm looking for a place called Main Street USA. Main Street. They're cooking true crime down at the Foursquare. You bring the box wine, I bring the what for. Come on, catch me if you can. They'll be looking for the boogeyman, and I'll be rocking place called
Boy, not only is she amazing talent, vocally, songwriting, stage performer, but man, she's a badass dancer too. I got to see it on the sidelines, man. It was
I
worth
get
the price
guitar
of
hero.
admission.
I know. I was just guitar heroing myself there. It's kind of
I
embarrassing.
love it.
but-
She saves dogs in her spare time, and man, she's an amazing dancer. Main Street USA. I know this is where fans get pissed at me. Like, Steve, why do you cut off this track? But you know how it works. Here.
I
If
know
you've
you
been here
didn't even let
before,
him hear the bridge, motherfucker. What are you doing?
you got to buy the album to hear the rest of it, and it's even better on the back end. That's my job. Got to sell some albums, put these in the hands of people, and spread the gospel of
Yes.
Grace Potter. My apologies, folks, but I promise you, you're going to love the back end even more than the front end. And
Hey, that sounds like a dirty joke, and I don't even want to go there, but I just had to point that out.
okay, thanks for sharing that with everybody. I feel much better now. That opening beat, the swampy guitar work, and man, that gritty vocal vibe, it's so great. Game Over, such a great track.
Thank you.
Terrific production. Also love the lyric as well.
Well, it was the feeling I had and I think a lot of us go through this when they go for that Route 66 drive the first time. You picture the whole thing being get your kicks on Route 66, and you kind of have a vision of it like it's going to be the Cars cartoon.
Yeah.
But there are so many miles between those amazing places, and even when you get there, you can't put your finger on it, but there's something off.
That's right.
Specifically, I'm thinking of Seligman. I'm thinking of Tucumcari. I'm thinking of Shamrock. You know, you get to the town and either you didn't hit it at the perfect moment, or there never was a perfect moment. And that's what I'm the most curious about with this record is where was that moment? Was that moment ever really there? Or are we just getting really bad at being in the moment? You know?
I think that's food for thought for sure. Thought provoking.
Yeah.
Marianne saying, Grace, any collabs with the Centennial this year, 100 years on Route 66?
Should I talk about this? Yes. So
Mariana,
I'm Mariana. Thank you for that question. I am currently collaborating with the National Historic Trust and raising money to do a 100-year retrospective of Route 66. That's going to be somewhere between a Ken Burns documentary and a Jim Jarmusch movie.
Wow.
Or maybe better yet, like an Oliver Stone, I think there's something very important about documenting what it was and then living inside of what it is simultaneously. We have all of these timelines and all of these separation, like we don't know exactly where we're going, but we do know that it's not here.
Right.
And for some reason, it gives us an opportunity as artists to explore the dimensions. I just feel like someone just like opened the curtain into the back room of America for me. And a passionate fan decided he wanted to help me, and he happened to be a board member of the National Historic Trust. And
how fortuitous.
yeah, and so this is a project that is ongoing. We're planning to shoot it right around the actual centennial. So for those of you who don't know, we are coming up on the 100th anniversary of Route 66. It was officially opened in November of 1926. So I plan to be on Route 66 throughout October and November, shooting this documentary and exploring mostly through the eyes of locals. But really, I think the whole documentary is going to be somewhat a vision quest by way of a songwriter. And when you're pitching these kind of things, usually they come from you, but this one kind of came at me from a couple of different directions all at once, which really is when it's a lightning rod moment where you have to listen and you have to hear and feel and understand that an opportunity is being dangled in front of you. And boy, oh boy, the Kentucky Derby can just go back into they can just be back there. I will be running far, far ahead. I will say yes every time to the opportunity to get back out on the road. So yeah, I'll be working on that one for the fall
That
after,
sounds good.
when I'm not touring.
Yeah, and yeah, in your spare time. You know, and boy, that just makes me want to pack my bags and toss them in the back seat of that convertible and hit the road. And
Well, now y'all know where I'm going to be in October and November and maybe a little bit of December. I'm going
that's
to
right.
be enjoying 100 years of Route 66. And you guys, for those of you who have never driven Route 66, there's an entire subculture of us who we look forward to meeting you, first of all. There are many of us, but we always invite more in. It is essentially the Reddit thread without the internet. We live
Good
and
analogy.
breathe through these places that we know we can rely on, but also through the new places that we all discover and share with one another. And I always look forward to the crisscrosses, which happen a lot. A crisscross is when you run into someone else who's been 66ing, and maybe you're going in the same direction and you happen to cross over at the same truck stop. Maybe one of you has decided to bed down in a town for a week and do a deep dive, all of which are amazing opportunities to reconnect with people. I've met some of my dearest friends out there on the Reddit thread, the IRL Reddit thread of Route 66.
Fantastic. And, you know, a lot of people, you know, fantasize about spending their free time vacationing overseas, but you just underscored there's so many great places in this country to explore, you know, before you even, you know, consider, you know, going across the pond.
And
Ryder,
make a
yeah,
mistake and go the wrong way,
yeah,
like do not be too dedicated to your plans. The only exception being night sky photography. A wonderful friend of mine who also runs the booth at the Santa Monica Pier on Route 66. He told me that there's certain moments where Route 66 literally follows a line of night sky photography that just happens to be aligned with Route 66. It starts a little bit before the Grand Canyon around Needles, but it goes deep, deep into New Mexico, where you're going to get some of the best night sky photography you've ever had. And those are the nights out. I mean, that's the
that's
times when
awesome.
if somebody, as long as they don't seem like a total serial killer, or even if they do, you should just bring the mace and go anyways,
Yeah, good call. Yeah, just to be safe. And I think I will be a stone's throw away from the Santa Monica Pier, so I might scope your friend out if he's hanging
Oh,
around.
please do. He is a treasure of a human being, and you can't miss him. I mean, he's tried and true. And when I decided to name my album Mother Road,
Yeah,
after my first 4 drives, he was delighted, but there was also, you could tell, it's just like the music industry. There's a little bit of that, like, you can't have that. You
yeah,
can't,
right.
you know what I mean? Like, that's
Yeah,
all of ours. You can't just take.
exactly.
And I really agree, actually. I think that's why I had to continue this process, and why Mother Road is more of a state of mind for me, having grown up on the road. And Trespasser is now the newest iteration of me acknowledging that the journeys you take, and whether you're on Route 66 or detouring way off, I mean, Las Vegas is one of the best detours you can take.
Absolutely.
And you can go in a lot of different directions while following the same trajectory of this sort of imagined American dream that was being positioned upon us around the mid-century, early mid-century.
We talked about Ride or Die a little bit, and you know, this one, I think this one was co-written by someone by the name of one Eric Valentine, if I'm not mistaken. And
Yeah, he's
great,
my ride or die. It's kind of perfect, right?
exactly, great vibe musically, great vocal work and harmonies. Another great lyric: "She left me crying by the side of the road with the money in the boots. She got the engine revving. My soul began to shake. She flew off Sombra Viva Bridge and through the pearly gates." A lot of this stuff reads like great prose, by the way. Just a brilliant track, this one. And on behalf of the Rock and Roll Channel and by the power vested in me, I just want to say I hereby declare Ride or Die better than the Keith Richards blood transfusion. So
Wow. Okay. And we did debut this song yesterday at the Gorge. I'm sorry, Saturday night at the Gorge.
did
And
you?
it was the biggest cheer that we got.
I'm not surprised.
And so I'm curious because no one's really heard this. We've teased a tiny little bit at the beginning, but boy, have I never seen a crowd lose their absolute minds the way they did for this song. And I've never had that happen in my entire career. 25 years out on the road, playing a new song is never hitting right when it starts, you know?
I mean, you got to admit, I'm playing a new song off, that hasn't been exposed.
Yeah.
You kind of have that fear of, oh no, this is going to be the bathroom break / beer run, moment. So when you got them captivated, you got something special.
It was wild. It was an absolute, I did not expect that. And I looked at the whole band. It was just like, what just happened? Why are they screaming so loud? People were jumping. They were dancing. They're pretending they knew the words, which is my favorite thing. By the way, for all of you watching at home, if you don't know the words to something, just say watermelon, just mouth.
Yeah. So
it's the perfect word. It covers all of the consonants and vowels that may fit into any of my songs.
Thanks for sharing that. I'm going to file that one away for future usage for sure.
That's a film school trick for the extras. Yeah.
I love that. Did not know that. Let's check out another track from Grace's forthcoming new album, Trespassers. Here's Love Me Not. Brad, please roll the digital once again.
I'm dead and gone. Will you still say I was wrong when I'm flying up on high? Will you wave as I float by? I need to understand why you let me go. And if that doesn't work, baby, there's just one thing I need to know. Do you love me? Do you love me now? Do you love me? Do you love me now? Do you love me? Did you ever even like me a little? Do you love me? Do you love me now? Do you love me? Do you love me now? I know I come in a little hot, but you're so cold you won't meet in the middle. I'm not dead and gone yet, still ringing your bell. I guess you're too busy ghosting me to set my soul free. You had a wild side back when you knew me, but you're all grown up now, and I'm still unruly. And you made it clear we're going nowhere. You locked me out. I can't pretend I don't care. 'Cause I do, and I miss you. 'Cause I do, and I need to know. Am I coming in too hot? Do you love me? Do you love me now? Do you love me? Do you love me now? Do you love me? Did you ever even like me a little? Do you love me? Do you love me now? Do you love me? Do you love me now?
Great. That's an absolutely great track. But it also underscores your point. There's something for everybody because this is a detour musically. And
This song was a detour. Like
Yeah.
genuinely, this was the last song we recorded. And this is the one I was talking about, that all we did, we kept the drum track. But it was supposed to be a song which will probably someday come out called Free My Will.
yeah.
It was about free will, and it was very highfalutin, and it was very high-minded, and it was just way too thinky. It was a think piece about a mid-level band struggling in the harsh face of stardom. Okay. And I had no time for that. I was done with it. And
But you're
and
not, but it's on the shelf for future usage.
absolutely. And those lyrics will find their place, or Eric will help me find a place for them.
One way or
But
the other.
But it really did have to get out. That was one of those songs that just had to, it just came screaming out of me. There was no stopping it. And there was a lot. I took Curtis's bass. He had played the upright on the song, and it was beautiful to have him playing upright in the studio. Curtis Kieber. I'm talking about Curtis Kieber, the bass
Yeah.
player, the bass
Yeah.
player, the longest standing bass player ever to be in my band ever. We just
That
realized
important
that.
distinction.
Yes. Also a dog lover who would definitely give the Heimlich to a dog.
Yeah, he's like
He
he's doing a virtual high five for you saving the dog today.
absolutely. I hope so. Well,
I think so.
he played the upright and I really loved it, but it didn't fit this song. This song felt aching and groaning and like almost like it needed a lot of synthesizer,
Yeah.
and that which is a tricky thing for someone who's trying to make this really like dusty road record. But I didn't care. Again, that's why the record's called Trespasser. It's this song called for an incredible recalibration of my heart and my mind in order for me to be okay in
Yeah.
that moment. And I was just in it. I was so deep in it. And it's very rare for me to be like smack in the middle of grieving something or someone and
Right.
feel like it's the right time to write a song. I'm not interested in taking my pain and turning it into music. That's not what it should be for. But I think I know myself well enough to know that that's not what it was for. This was just for getting it out of me. Like it had to come out of my body and it landed on the tape. And yeah, it took 2 days to make it. I called all my friends to come over and make the wild human noises. If you
Yeah.
check the liner notes, there's a selection of people, a large
Right.
selection of people known as the wild humans. And I completely graffitied over the original intention of the song. And I think that's exactly what my emotion reflected in the moment.
Super passionate. And another takeaway again, when you consider the lyrics, is I think this is going to resonate with a lot of people because I think everybody has that example, that one example at least, where abruptly things get cut off, and it's like
Yeah.
you're blindsided by it, and also you instantly don't recognize that person anymore based on how they do a 180 on you.
Or even worse, you might not recognize yourself
Right.
because you define so much of who you were from your relationship with that person.
Right.
And this is the person who I was losing touch with over time. It was like they had joined a cult or something,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is, I think, the first sort of reflexive place that you would go to would be, it's easy to just blame somebody for, oh, it must be them because this can't be me. And then I went past that and really looked in the mirror and found myself saying, do you love me? Do you love me not? Over and over again to myself. I'm cooking in the kitchen and I'm brushing my teeth and I'm making the bed and I'm still motherfucking pissed off. And I really didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't get past it. And it was like this weird, it was a ghost in my head that just would not leave. And it churned and churned until I got it out of me. And that's why at the end of the song, and this one is out, so it's not like this is any big revelation for anybody, but
Right.
at the end I just say, like, I have to say this to the mic and put it to bed. Send it in a box to the record shop or to Talk
Yep.
Shop Live.
Yeah. There we go. Nicely done.
and then just put it away. And honestly, that's exactly what this song did that for me. And it served a huge purpose. And I have no more pain or hurt or anger or confusion in my heart anymore.
That's awesome. It was cathartic for you.
It's very cathartic. Yeah.
And I think it's going to serve a similar purpose for a number of people. This one's going to resonate for sure. And speaking of resonating, again, we're celebrating the forthcoming release from the one, the only Grace Potter. Boy, she delivered a great album, and it's entitled Trespassers. It's also available exclusively on double Detour Red Vinyl Swirl from Talk Shop Live, and of course on CD. The album releases on Friday, August 21st. But Rock and Roll Channel fans on Talk Shop Live can purchase their copies right here, right now, in Grace's way of thanking you fine fans. She has agreed to sign a limited number of copies of the vinyl and CDs. Once they're gone, they're gone. Although she did say she would return my calls. So we'll see where that goes. But don't assume that's going to happen. Order your copies by hitting the shop button on Talk Shop Live on the socials, Facebook and Instagram. Comment shop. We'll DM you a link. And if you're watching through YouTube, click the link in the description, and the rest is quick and easy. And again, there's no greater way to show how much you appreciate the great artistry and this great body of work entitled Trespasser. Gasoline, gorgeous cut, so beautifully produced. A real
Thank you.
standout in my book, I think.
I agree. I think it's an instant classic.
Yeah.
And I wrote this one really, really early with an amazing songwriter named Ross Copperman, who was really coming up through the Nashville world. And when I went to Nashville to write it, it was around the time that it was post-COVID. Eric was making a record with Nickel Creek, and I just had some free time. And I thought, what better way to serve my family and show my love and my appreciation for what Eric is doing in getting back into producing records, which was a big deal because I always said he was going to keep producing records, and he said he wouldn't, and then he did. And I was really happy, and I love my friends in Nickel Creek. But I also knew that if I stayed in the studio with all of them, I would just ruin fucking everything. I'd be that guy that's just like, hey guys, what if you, hey, what
I'm hearing it this way. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and I knew I was going to be a divine distraction. So I just made myself busy. I made busy with it. And I booked myself up. I got to write with so many of my favorite human beings. And, you know, Natalie Hemby and Hillary Lindsay. But Ross was a new character in my world. And it was really fun to settle in to basically, like, I think we picked a movie or we picked a photograph and just said, let's write what this feels like. And so, and I had a postcard from a motel I stayed at in 29 Palms. So the whole song starts 29 Palms because that was what we were looking at. It was very literal. Sometimes that's what I love about Nashville. It's like, why mash it up into too many fancy garlic potatoes when you can just make them good? Start to finish. Just do it. Just
the gospel according to Grace Potter, as I live and breathe.
Well, I needed a lot of help, and I think this record specifically, I also want to call out Dan Kalisher, who plays the pedal steel on this record.
Amazing.
Unbelievable. And anytime you hear the pedal steel throughout this record, it is Dan.
Brilliant work.
I have tried very hard to make him be mine, but he cannot be mine because he's
willing to share with you.
He's a busy and successful music director in many capacities, but he took an afternoon, and that I think, and as did Benmont Tench. And I what was really cool about this,
musician.
Unbelievable. Benmont from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, for those of you who don't know, but also he's Benmont. And what I loved about those two contributing were the moments that they chose not to contribute. There was a lot of, this was the only sort of wall I had to throw my spitballs against because no one had heard any of this. And when they heard, in Benmont's case, he heard Gasoline. He was like, I don't need to play piano on this song. That piano's fucking perfect. Was that you? And I'm like, yes. You know, and he said my piano was perfect. And I just thought that was an incredible.
You wore that like a badge of honor.
I sure did. Yes. Like my two doctorates. Yeah. Just remember, I have 2 doctorates, people.
Incredible. And you save lives on top of it.
I save lives.
Yes.
I may not be able to see out of either of my eyes, but I have 2 doctorates and I save lives.
Yeah. You know,
Wait,
don't be so greedy.
That's a lyric.
It is.
I got to put that one down.
Feel free while you can write that down right now when we play the next track. But I do want to get this in. Michelle said, I get my beer before and after Grace. Thank you. So there you go. No, I love that for sure. And Kelsey also said, Talk Shop Live needs a laugh reaction. I think it's like a laugh track. I just be afraid when I think something's funny and it's not, it would blow up in our faces.
No,
so.
you just have to look at the reactions. We need, this is what the AI robots should do. The only thing AI should do is just count how many people are reacting and measure whether it's funny or not. And just pick, that would be so funny to have it like just on like the off chance that they might get it right one time. Yeah. An AI robot with random laugh tracks in the middle of this would be perfect. I'm going to say, I'm submitting, I agree. And I'm submitting a request for you guys to do that, Talk Shop.
There you go. Outstanding comment for sure. And I pay good money to meet an AI bot that had a good sense of humor. So it'd be a
No,
win-win.
they don't have. That's not their job. Their job is
Yeah.
to measure what they think
Measure.
people might think is funny, and then try to.
Exactly.
It's like those ghost apps that decide when they're
Yeah.
going to talk back to you.
Yep.
It's all context and electromagnetic je ne sais quoi, but
Yeah.
what they say is always just so beautifully poorly paced and funny, and I love it. I just love it.
I'm 100% a great recommendation, sanctioned by Grace. No turning back. We're in. And speaking of in, let's run another track from her forthcoming new album, Trespasser.
I'm going to look at comments while you guys listen to this. Are
Go
you going
for
to play? What are you playing? Gasoline?
We're playing Run Baby Run.
Oh, good. Okay,
Yeah.
get ready, babies.
Get ready.
I never knew I needed you so badly. Found love and then I lost my way. And every touch, every word you say, it's under my skin, it's over my head, and I don't wanna spend my life drowning out this voice inside saying, head for the hills, run baby run, run to the wild blue yonder, hit the highway, he ain't the one, distance will make you stronger, run, run. Drove away to nowhere in a hurry. Can't explain why I still feel unworthy. And I know I need to take this chance to feel the strength in my own two hands. And when I think about turning back, the voice inside gets louder, shouting, head for the hills, run baby run, run to the wild blue yonder, hit the highway, he ain't the one, distance will make you stronger, run, run. I feel it getting closer, with every mile we're apart. I don't need happy ever after, I just need somewhere to start. Head for the hills, run baby run, run to the wild blue yonder.
I didn't like that edit too much. I have to say, again, this is just another great track, special one in my book. Another. I mean, again, a kind of another dimension, as far as you're
Yeah.
concerned. And you know what? I mean, the bass riff, the drums lock you up right out of the gate. That
Yep.
sultry vocal, wonderful vocal, great chorus, but just as
Yes.
good. And this is a mark of great songwriting, in my opinion, Grace, is that the bridge is as solid as the chorus. And I often get upset because sometimes songwriters get lazy and they feel like, well, I've got to throw a bridge in there, and it's like
Right,
an
right.
afterthought, and it almost takes it down. But in this case, this one, the bridge and the break as well takes it over the top. Just love this one, special track.
No, that's the bass is like Billie Jean. If Billie Jean, was playing in the club in one place, and like a
Yeah.
ZZ Top cover band was playing over here, and then Tina Turner walks in. That's
Couldn't-
sort of what I
couldn't-
wanted this song to feel like.
Yeah.
It's important to me that people understand this song is the story of a woman I met. She's a diner waitress. It's also my story, but she said, you wouldn't believe how many times I want to just grab a woman's plate of food as I'm delivering it to them and just say, get out right now. Like, this is wrong. She can read it. She can feel it. She could sense that I was a bit of an empath, and I was just there for a coffee, quick drop in, but she just was like, she looked at me like that, and I looked at her like, eh. And there was a very deep merging, a nonverbal merging of our understanding of one another, because she can read a room, she can read a couple, she can read a vibe. And she said, you wouldn't believe how many times, and I hate to think about how deep that goes, because she works at a diner at a truck stop that is right at this collision point of two highways, which means, this could be human trafficking, this could be
Right.
bad relationships, this could be abuse, or it could literally just be he's not the one. Like, I know
Right.
you're gaga for this guy, but he ain't the one.
Right.
And so she told me her story as I was in the midst of talking another friend through the end of a relationship where I
Oh,
didn't know how to tell her. In fact, I actually didn't tell her. I had chosen not to because I just didn't think it was any of my damn business.
yeah.
But she would call me with these like insane situations that she'd been through. And then beyond that, I forced the song to get written and finished. And I did write this one on my lonesome with nothing but my sad little garage band setup that I had in
Yeah.
like a
Awesome.
yeah, but I was home. I had just come back from the trip where I had met this diner waitress, and she told me this just so many stories where she's just describing what she feels. She's not
Right.
describing what they said or what happened, or this isn't some Judge Judy stuff. She's not really judging any of it. She's just seeing the energetic balance of the universe and
Yeah.
calling it like she sees it with her plates of food. And I just thought, what a cool narrative. And
Absolutely.
she'll be in my movie. She'll be in the movie.
I'm counting on it. Looking forward to that. Yeah, for sure. Amy Curry, by the way, saying the bridge is everything in a song.
I agree,
So,
Amy. You know
yeah,
it. You know it.
sounds like we could start forming a club for sure. And Flying Saucer was
A
commenting on the
different kind of bridge club,
Yes, exactly right. Saying what a haunting piano line. Lost Cafe. Wow, another special one. Flat out, badass vocal. Hooked me in. Love this track as well. And again, some really fantastic lyrics as well. This one got me worked up. And again, speaking of getting worked up, I got to keep preaching the gospel of Grace Potter here because she's delivered just an absolute brilliant album. It's entitled, of course, Trespasser. And it's an extension from 2023's Mother Road, which is an incredible albm. And we were fortunate to have her after that.
It's an expansion.
Expansion.
Yeah. This is. By the way, this mall is going to get bigger. Like the Trespasser's just the sister. Like there's going to be some cousins. We haven't even done DNA tests yet. Like we don't know where it is going to go. But this is the rest of my career. Like my plan is to just continue down these storylines because, I mean, David Bowie did it. Ziggy Stardust kept returning and returning again, and then he got tired of him and put him away for a while, and then brought him back again.
Yeah,
I think
you're right.
there's a place for this, and also there's a place for my boob sweat. I just want to point out that on the record cover, which you guys have been scrolling through, I did not Photoshop. I tried to Photoshop out my boob sweat, and then it just started looking weird.
Yeah,
everything it lost its tact.
I was gonna mention how much I loved the cover shot, but then thought I thank you for bringing that up because I just feel it's better coming from you.
No, I have to point it out. Also,
it's not a bad thing. It's a human thing.
To answer the question that many have asked, is my skirt unbuttoned? Yes. Why? Because I'm actually driving the motherfucking car. Okay. And anyone who's ever taken a road trip knows that you can't keep your pants buttoned when you're driving. Nobody does. Nobody that really lives on the road and lives and dies by the road will ever keep their pants buttoned. I think it's an important factor to weigh in on here. I'd love in the comments if you all could tell me how many of you, dead honest, have actually even explored the possibility that your life could be better if you just fucking unbuttoned your pants when you're driving. No one needs to know. It doesn't have to be a weird, perverted thing. It's just about comfort and letting sleeping dogs lie exactly where they want to. Ever since having a kid, I got no time for anything else. But yeah, boob sweat, unbuttoned skirt, sure. I look great. It's fine. That's what I saw in the picture. Why mess with it?
You look amazing. You looked amazing even with the hot Popeye look, so you can get away with all kinds of looks.
I can't see in the comments, but okay, somebody else Yeah. Okay. So yeah, avoid pants with buttons when I have to drive long distances. Leggings are bust. LOL. Yes, I agree. I concur. Although leggings are complicated. You can't just be okay. I don't go around in leggings anymore on the road because then people think I'm rich, which is the weirdest thing, but I'm
Yeah.
not kidding. You can't do this is important, road trippers. Do not do like chic as athleisure stuff. People just assume you have money. And I was driving a Volkswagen Atlas, and so in my experience, you are if you're a even remotely handsome human being in any version of athleisure, you're gonna get robbed. You got to look like a lot lizard, which is what I was going for, or a trucker,
Uh,
or a worker like that you just came from a construction site. Those are the three options. Don't none of this fancy Patagonia climbing gear and no athleisure on the road if you're in it for the long haul, because your odds go down with every truck stop you stop at. And so I would highly recommend everybody with a roof rack and fancy shit in their car dress like dog shit, like dress like absolute trailer trash. That's a protective valve that I have learned how to open up.
Grace, I feel like I should have charged a cover charge because we're like getting so much information and education. I would pay good money for a T-shirt that says "Grace says." You
Dress like
gotta
trailer
look,
trash.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you gotta look like a lot lizard or a trucker, and again
I did
saving
trucker
lives.
today. See,
Yes,
it's my. Look at this. I'm not unbuttoned, but I'm comfortable. I'm doing fine. But
yeah.
yeah, if this thing goes much longer, I will have to unbutton these pants.
I'll tell you what. I'm not saying we wouldn't sell any more records if that happened, but I'm saying just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, folks, this album is coming out August 21st. Again, it's entitled Trespasser. The lady has delivered an absolute brilliant body of work here, top to bottom, 9 tracks. She kills it. I mean, and it goes in all these different directions. You're getting a flavor. We're going to play one last track for you, but I just remind you, it is available and signed by Grace. When they're gone, unless she returns my call. We'll see where that goes. But let's get to that point first, and it's getting pretty close for sure. And just click the shop button on Talk Shop Live on socials, Facebook, Instagram, Comment Shop, and we'll DM you a link on YouTube. Click the link in the description, and the rest is easy. And again, thanks for supporting this amazing artistry. Trespasser, title track, heavy vibe, sparse musical arrangement. And I
Yeah.
always love things like this because, kudos to you and to Eric. But, sometimes it's not what you put in the song, but it's what you don't put in the song. And you talked about that kind of with Bentmont too, in terms of his commentary for your piano work. But it's atmospheric, it's striking. Trespasser really, really spoke to me. And
Yeah,
great,
that song
great
is
lyric.
deep. That song is a deep one. I mean,
Yeah.
I won't get too into it because we're not going to hear it today, but we had a trespasser come into our house. We had a home
Right.
invasion that led me to reconsider basically everything I thought I knew about my comfort level with people and boundaries, and the fear I could have felt was probably, and that I did not feel in that moment, is probably what saved us from a potentially really violent and dangerous situation. So
It's amazing. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot behind this song.
yeah,
And
so
I
there's
can't
a lot
imagine
there. Yeah,
a lot of
and
people would be
then I
stuck
got mad.
like,
Yeah, so you get the madness in there too. You're hearing deep anger, but you're also hearing the protective order that we as humans have a biological right to declare upon ourselves and the people we love, while also recognizing that ourselves and the people we love are just as transient as that person who wandered in. And what if you struck up a conversation
uh,
with the best intentions and with genuine curiosity? What could happen? And what happened in this moment is that it diffused the entire situation, and the man never pulled out his weapon, which was really
it's amazing you had that presence of
fortuitous.
mind. Most people would not have responded that way, and that you can even have that kind of takeaway. We could literally spend entire hour just talking about this song and
That's for the
experience.
subscriber edition talk shop. Okay.
There we go. Yeah,
That's right.
we have to have you back for sure.
I would love that.
But before we let you go, I just want to touch on, we're going to play this as the outro, but man, you talk about the masterpiece. That's War on the Mountain. Brilliant work to close this album. Dramatic musically in structure, the narrator, the lady, the mistress, 100% cinematic. I have to ask you, Grace, did you have a vision when constructing the song that this might track the direction of some stage or film adaptation of it? It feels like.
No, I literally edited the movie first in my head. Like it's a shot for shot. I've got my Indiana Jones for this entire song. In fact, we without hearing the entire piece, because there's really 3 parts to the song.
Right.
The initial presentation of these 2 characters by the narrator. Then we meet the characters and we hear from each of them. And we know all along as we're meeting them that that one of them is marching toward the other one on the way to a confrontation. And then the confrontation happens, which is the second piece of music. And then there is like the third refrain, which is sort of our Stairway to Heaven, take you out lyrical moment, which I can't really sing without choking up ever. So I'm not sure how far you'll take it into the song, but I highly recommend that you bring it at least to the second movement.
Yes. That's on Brad. We'll have to take him out the knees if he doesn't deliver.
Brad. Hey, everybody put your comments to Brad. Make sure that he holds the line here.
I'll give out his home address before we say good night.
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's breaking out in a cold sweat for sure as we speak. But and again, I just want to remind everybody to order this album, and you need this album for sure. And you need to spread the gospel and share it with your friends and family. All you have to do is hit the shop button on Talk Shop Live on the socials, Facebook and Instagram. Comment Shop will DM you a link, and on YouTube if you're watching through that platform, just hit the link in the description, and it officially releases on August 21st. And this will be an heirloom tune because this woman will go down as one of the all-time greats in American music, as an artist, as a songwriter. Spiritually, her vocals are just over the top. And you know what? There's no greater way to show how much you appreciate that talent than by the ownership. Streaming, I get that, but owning this speaks volumes, and you need to own this record for sure. So, Grace, what does the balance of the year hold for you? More dates?
Okay, I'm just trying to process what you just said. You just made me feel really good. A little bit emotional right now.
I'm sorry.
No, because Chris Stapleton just said something about me that made me cry. And now I'm like, wait, am I getting into the crying phase of my life where I just cry and I have to put on glasses like Meryl Streep to like get through the end of this?
Yeah, I can't say anything about the glasses, but I can say, as far as the crying, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing.
Oh, God, that got me. Sir, don't talk like that around here. I have a lot of plans. The record coming out, I'm actually going to be home, and I plan to haunt my local habitat here in Vermont, in my hometown.
Nice.
And because I never forget where I come from, and I'm never more grateful than when a record comes out and the people who helped bring me up and show me what I could be and believed in me, even when they were like, I don't know how to make a CD. What's a CD? Like this is, we're talking about generational support, which is really what I feel you are all bringing to the table here. My greatest gift to the world is my live performance, but I would love to get to a point where I don't have to just be slogging it out live, and I can make films. I'm excited to make this Route 66 documentary in the fall, and I'm really excited to continue the stories. I will never stop making music, but I want to be able to take these storyboards and these visions and these edits of films, which you will now hear in this last track, and make them real and bring them to fruition. So if anybody out there has $60 million, that would be amazing. Why don't you just like DM me and just slide into my DMs and let me know?
We'll do a show, like a GoFundMe show for you.
We're building a mystery here. And the truth is I don't really want money. What I really want is to collaborate with people. And that if there's one thing more collaborative than making music on stage with, an orchestra, as I got to do with this song War on the Mountain,
Yeah.
it is the film industry, in which there are so many different specific worlds that have to fuse together and work together. And I think the choreography of a film set, and especially the way that music has a relationship to that, is my fortress. It's the place I want to live. And I think music and film fell out of line with one another, and music stopped mattering until the end. And then there was no budget left. And so musicians have just sort of been the scrappy kids that are like coming in right at the end.
Right.
I want to be a part of a creative force of people in an industry that believes that we can not only come up beyond each other and beside each other and pass each other and not be scared and competitive, but to also support one another and inspire each other and hold up mirrors to each other. So that's my job. My job on this planet is to hold up a mirror to humanity and help them find their way and help them find their voices.
That's amazing. And you have a welcome mat with your name on it for anything that any of this creative works that you're referring to as they come to fruition. Because
like really, not in a slutty way. Like, don't give me $60 million and then make me have sex with you. I'm not going to do that. So don't do that. You said welcome mat.
I'm glad you drew some boundaries.
When I hear welcome mat, I'm thinking about like the slutty things. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I was going to say, Ms. Potter, I absolutely love you in a purely professional way, because I don't want Eric to come over my house and slash my tires or take me out at the knees.
He's not like that. He'd be into it. It's fine.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, God, that doesn't help me much. What does it, boy? Yeah. But,
this is going great, isn't it?
It is. I'll tell you what, it's a highlight of my week for sure. Maybe the month, but congratulations on this great record. And before we let you go, I'd like to thank all the fans for being here this evening, for their support. Special thanks to Mickey Wyndham, 30 Tigers, who, brought Miss Grace to us once again for this project, and Sevens Management, right?
7S.
7S.
Yep.
I knew that. They got to separate it, because knuckleheads like me
30 Tigers, 7S's. Like, don't make me count objects.
They're great people, though. We've done work with them. Yeah, if only I can get the damn name right, so they don't get pissed at me. But
no, they're fine. They're okay. They're doing great.
Bella, thank you. Alex, thank you. Jake Anderson at the Orchard, always a great supporter of ours, who does the distribution for her record, and also our fulfillment partner, All Media Supply, that makes sure that they ship them directly to you fans. And to Brian, Sandy, Tina, Joe, Kathy, Marty, Kate, Brendan, and Sam, and behind the scenes, Brad, for allowing me to go over. I know I'm going to take some lumps, but it was worth it for this queen. And most importantly, to Grace Potter, for continuing to provide all of her musical gifts with all of us. And before I part company, and last words, Grace, you'd like to share with the fans out there?
I hope you enjoy this pivotal journey. It's the longest time I've ever taken to put out a song. War on the Mountain is a deep, deep journey into the inside of my mind. And you'll hear 3 of the voices. There are more, but you'll just meet the 3 that matter the most to me, and who helped me to heal on this journey. And I'm so excited for the next road I get to go down and meet you guys on. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that. Pick up this new forthcoming album, Trespasser, on Talk Shop Live, personally autographed by the Queen herself. Don't tune out just yet, because we're going to play a nice portion of it, and hopefully Brad's got the edit right. And while you're at it, pick up copies for your friends and family, because music and art is a gift that keeps on giving, and one that will last a lifetime. And Grace has definitely delivered a wonderful musical gift with Trespasser. Your friends and family will thank you for it. You've worked hard this year. You deserve it. And I have it on good authority that this album, Trespasser, will enhance everyone's quality of life. You'll keep going back to it. Grace, thank you so much for being here. Love the new record.
Thank you. And I forgot 2 things. And I just got a message, because one of my smart people put it into the comments here.
Go for it.
I have a nonprofit called Grand Point Foundation that is very, very important. We bring art and creativity, and we raise the voices and visions of rural creatives in the state of Vermont. That is where we are having my music festival, which
Nice.
is now in its 12th year. And you can buy tickets at grandpointnorth.com or grandpointfoundation.org. Thank you to the very kind soul who reminded me to say something about that.
Yeah, thank you for that.
I thank God for the one eye. I saw it with my one good eye.
That
All
hot
right. Hope you
Popeye
guys
eye.
enjoy. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And with that, everyone, stay tuned so you can hear this brilliant track, and stay safe. Enjoy life. Rock on. So long, everybody. Grace, so great to see you. Thank you so much for spending the time tonight together. Really loved it.
Keep it between the ditches and don't feed the bears, y'all.
Amen to that.
I am the lady of the mountain, built my kingdom in the trees. Hard work and humble nature, I have all I ever need. And I built my mountain fortress, a home for my wild horses, to shudder out those who have forsaken me. I am the mistress of delight, I sleep until the break of night. I love to dance for all the world to witness. I grew up on this mountainside, the lady was a friend of mine, until my unexpected disappearance. Oh thunder, oh lightning, bring the rain soon. There's fire in the air and a ring around the moon. The lady of the mountain gazes at the dimming light. Every creature of the forest knows there's something on her mind. There's gonna be a war on the mountain tonight. What's wrong with me? The lady shouts. She slaps her face and turns about, catching her reflection in the mirror. The burning handprint shows her pain, now ready for another sting. She strikes again and hopes no one can hear her. All the while the clanking armor drawing nearer.